So I'm not sure if many of you all are familiar with this CNN months-long investigation that wound up uncovering this global sex network, if you will. Okay, so what's been happening is across these social media platforms and private forums, okay, men, millions and millions of men are coming together, congregating, sharing information on how to incapacitate women using sedatives, how to do this without getting detected, without being caught, okay? And then to film, record, and upload this information on these different degenerate websites.
We are halfway through Sexual Assault Awareness Month, and tragically, there have been several headlines in just the last few days that really remind us, all of us, of how prevalent this issue is, particularly when it comes to violence against women. This for us is Dr. Tracy Stulberg, a marriage and family therapist who has a lot of experience dealing with tragedies, just like the ones we're talking about tonight. Before we get into it, though, we thought it might be a little bit helpful to take this by the numbers and break down the hard truth behind the topic. Take a look at this. First, in just this last month, there were 82 million visits to that online Rape Academy website. So hard to even say those words, which we're going to talk about in just a second here. Meantime, across the U.S., between 10 to 14% of married women are raped by their partners. And in 17 states, a spouse cannot be convicted of raping a partner who is unconscious, drugged, or otherwise incapacitated, all because of outdated laws still in the books. In the meantime, according to a survey conducted by the National Resource Center on Domestic Violence, 50% of male college students believe it is impossible for a man to rape his wife, and 34% said they would rape someone if they knew they could get away with it. Now, you may have heard people say, not all men, which is shorthand for not all men are responsible for hurting women. Well, when you have statistics as shockingly high as the ones we just mentioned, it's not surprising that you're seeing more and more people say it's all men until it's none of them, meaning until women can be sure they don't need to worry about being harmed, it's better to be safe than sorry.
They did give a few names. They released a few names of these websites. One being, I guess, the larger platform that caters to this kind of degeneracy. The name of this website was or is motherless.com, okay? And this particular website alone has had 62 million visitors, and this was just in February of 26, okay, alone. 26 million visitors to this website just in February of 2026, okay? Now, on these websites, there are thousands and thousands of video of unconscious women being essayed. Okay, unconscious women being essayed, and they have the videos listed under such titles as sleeping, passed out, right? And then they have this sick practice where they go and they will lift the woman's eyelids, right? And that is called eye check. So this is to demonstrate, I guess, to the viewers that the women are sedated and unconscious. And so on these platforms, they are actually sharing the best drugs, I guess, to use to incapacitate women. They're sharing the dosage, right? And these people, these men, they are drug dealers as well, because they are actually monetizing this degeneracy, okay, by selling the drugs to incapacitate the women. Okay, and then they are saying things such as, or they're marketing, okay, by saying things such as, your wife won't feel a thing. You know, your wife won't even remember what happened. Okay, so this is what's going on these degenerate, demonic websites. They've labeled this latest human degenerative practice as drug facilitated abuse. And so these websites are basically online rape academies, schools of violence, where men can actually go to learn how to violate women. Again, these are websites that are teaching men how to disrespect and violate women at an all-time high. Okay, and I just want to add that it baffles me that when I'm doing my investigation, and you guys please go do yours, you're going to see a lot of skin tones that don't look like ours. Okay, why is this not being plastered everywhere? Such as when Bill Cosby was in the media with all of his allegations, how you drug R. Kelly. But these men that don't look like R. Kelly or Bill Cosby, it's really hush hush, right? It's really on the quiet. And I'm saying, black women, with all of this swirling that's going on, why you guys are so quick to put down black men, this is degeneracy at an all-time high. Because these men are married. Most of this that they are doing it to their wives and to their significant others. I'll say it again. This is to women that they've been married to for over 10 years and better in many of these cases. Okay? These are women that they profess to love. And they are doing this to these women. And again, it's not just the husbands that are raping or incapacitating, drugging these women and raping and uploading. No, they are going on these websites and they are inviting other men to come and violate their women, their wives. This is demonic again on a whole nother level. But because we know who control the media, they control the narrative too. No, they're not going to plaster the palm colored people in your face, especially not for anything degenerate. If it's not making them look like a hero or being courageous or smart or something, no, they're not going to plaster that in your face because they want to control the narrative. They want to control the way the world see their kind. Okay? And if it's anything less than favorable, anything less than pleasant, they're not going to force that in your face. They're just not. Now, my complexion, it would have been everywhere. This is how I'm saying it couldn't be that many of my skin color involved in this. I'm sure there's some, but it couldn't be a large amount, because if it was, we would definitely see their faces. Y'all sisters, be careful though, thinking that white is right all the time. I'm just gonna say that, okay? Because I'm not trying to start any or race wars or any of that. Like, I'm not, but I will speak what I see as the truth, okay? Y'all sisters, be careful out there. White is not always right, okay? And black don't need to be clowned and put down all the time. Like, stop it. One woman by the name of Zoe Watts, she had discovered that her husband for more than 16 years had been crushing her son's sleeping medication and putting it into her tea and essaying her while she was unconscious. This is what these European men are doing. Not African Americans, not black men. European men, predominantly. This is what they are doing. We worry about who's coming behind us walking down the street, who's even friending us on Facebook, you know. We worry about going to the car late at night in the car park, but we don't worry about who we're laying next to. I didn't realize I had to. This is Mrs. Watts' statement. Well, the Dominique Pellicoat case in 2024 is where this topic gained global attention. This case is out of France, where Dominique and 50 other men were convicted. Dominique himself, he received a measly 20 years for facilitating the rape of his wife, Giselle, by dozens of men that he had contact through an online platform. This poor woman had been assaulted over 200 times And the even more sickening part is a lot of these men walked away free. Okay, others got lesser sentence or were sentenced to lesser time. But yeah, these are husbands. Okay, these are fathers. These are businessmen. And this is why I say we really must get in contact with our discernment. Okay, because people are not walking around looking like who they really the fuck are. Okay, I'm just gonna say it like that. Excuse my French. But yeah, they're not. For him, Dominique, to receive 20 years, okay, and you spearhead this depraved, very sick assault on your wife, right? And not only that, okay, this man is sick on a whole nother level, because it was also found during his trial that he was taking pictures of his daughters, his own daughters, and his daughter-in-laws, okay? This is sick again, or just on a different level. And I feel so bad for the wives and girlfriends, right? Because we are supposed to feel protected. And she did. It was a false sense. It definitely was false, right? To feel protected. She felt that he loved her. They had been married for umpteen years. And so the love couldn't be that genuine. Okay, where was the protection? Because you have to understand, if you are inviting all of these men into your bedroom that you don't know anything about, you are putting your wife's health at jeopardy. It's at risk. You don't know what these men got. You don't know. And on a spiritual level, you are inviting all of these incubus into your wife's womb. You, baby, these men are sick. I'm just totally flabbergasted. I'm just totally taken aback, because you hear of men doing this to women, that they are not affiliated with, that they don't know anything about you. But the fact that this is your family, this is your wife, you would do this to her. Not only you would do it, you would invite other men into your bedroom to violate your wife. I don't know. Now women, when we're entering relationships and marriages, covenants of that nature, right? Now we have to ask ourselves, hell, do he really love me? Or am I just some sick fucking fantasy of his? Or, am I being used in a way to fulfill his fantasies, and where he doesn't have to, necessarily look at jail time? This is crazy, crazy work to me. It's crazy business. You guys get in the comments section and let me know what your thoughts are about this video. If you enjoyed it, I'd like to ask you to give it a big thumbs up. If you are a subscriber to the channel, I'd like to thank you for being a subscriber. If you're not, what you doing, okay? But I want to encourage you to go ahead and hit that subscription button, because in my personal opinion, I don't think you're going to be disappointed in doing so. With all of that being said, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. I will be back very shortly with more of my unpopular thoughts.